to all the viewers who are watching this
about life
session.
skill to listen to the session.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Dr. Mandal, Ranjit Kumar Mandal, sir. Ranjit Kumar Mandal, sir, is our
Faithful, huh?
IAH Karnataka president.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
now I
yes, sir.
request Mr. Vivekananda to take over the session. Before Vivekananda sir take over the
Okay,
session, I
Ashwini?
just would like to give brief introduction about Vivekananda as master degree in botany and is also having master degree in education. Also, Vivekananda is pursuing his uh, doctoral PhD in institute.
Okay, you find a plant there, okay, and but you reflect on the shadow, right? The shadow, if you see, is of a tree, but it's a plant. Okay, I call this as an adolescent stage, wherein you're still in a young adult, but you feel that you are a mature adult, right? So there is some kind of what you feel inside and what you are actually. There is a kind of a mismatch. Okay. This is on the one side for the adolescent, and you see on the other side, you see a bunch of color pencils there, kept in a small jar. If you see, what if you have less number of pencils there? Will it look nice? I don't think so. Okay. Now I call each pencil as skills, right? You have different colors of pencil, which you can use this pencil on a canvas to draw a beautiful image, right? So life is like a canvas, and these pencils, I call it as skills. More the skills you have, better is the image or the picture that you draw on the screen. Okay. Now, so one side you have an adolescent one, and the other side I'm talking about life skill. Right. So I'm going to merge these two things. Now, the focus of today's session will be on understanding what life skill is all about from a parent's perspective, from a teacher's perspective. Okay. And I'm sure some students' perspective also. Very simple to understand. And what is the role of parent in helping your young minds, your children? Right? I call children because for parents, even if the boy is 40 years old or 50 years old, he's a child only. Okay. And I want to focus more also on role of teachers in developing life skills in students, what they need to do. Okay. Not much difference between parents and teacher. Probably teacher is a second parent. Okay. So with these two objectives, I would like to proceed further. Now, if you see, this is a fact that in today's COVID crisis situation, the schools are closed. Not only in India, the schools are closed more than 118 countries. Recently, I got to know, just 2-3 weeks before, schools in Dubai, Abu Dhabi have opened it with a lot of rules and restrictions. Same, certain schools, they have opened it. So things there, it is different. Things in India is totally different. But by and large, the current situation has affected more than 1.7 billion students across the globe. So it is not only our students, it is the issue of the whole globe. Now you can see, if the students don't go to school or a college, okay, what happens if they are at home? It is very natural that, students develop a tendency of, frustration. They can't go outside. Okay, they can't, how long they'll be on the phone, and the parents will say, don't be on the phone for a long time. All this commotion, causes stress in the child. Okay. Now, point of time, I feel life skill plays an important role. Shall I proceed, Guru sir?
Sir, please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Now, put this word adolescent. This is a very common word we all listen to. Adolescent age. Adolescent age is a stress and storm. I still remember my professor telling me about that. One parent asked me, "Sir, you're talking about adolescent, you're talking about child and things like that. There are different stages, okay? You have an infant stage, then you have a childhood, you have a little middle and things like that. Then you come with the adolescent. In adolescence also you have different levels, early, middle and the late, and you become a young adult and the middle and the old. That's the different phase, right? Okay. Which phase of parenting is tough to handle? Right? Someone asked me which phase of parenting is very tough to handle. Is it at the infant stage, or at the childhood stage, or the adolescence, or the young adult? This is all the stage. Every stage you have a challenge. When the child is infant, we always wish that, good that she becomes 5 or 6 years and not have this kind of issue. And the same time, when he's at 5th and 6th years, 5 or 6 years or 10 years close to that, you wish, oh my God, let the child be little older. I'll not have this problem. Right? And when the boy or a girl comes at the adolescent phase, then you feel, oh my God, let this phase pass out. Let him become adolescent, an adult, so that he can go and work and all the things. He can be of great help. When he become an adult, sometimes we feel that the childhood was good. Okay? So you find adolescent is just a stage in life, and every stage for a parent is a challenge. That's it. And as per WHO defines adolescent as individual from 10 to 19 years. And I would say grade 5, they are early adolescent. 10, grade 5, grade 6, grade 7, 8 could be early. 9, 10 could be, 8, 9, 10 kind of a thing could be the middle. And the grade 11th, 12th, and till they are at 19. That could be the little later phase of adolescence. That's defined by WHO. And there's a nice statement there if you see. This is a period during which a young person develops from a childhood to an adult. Right? Kind of a metamorphosis. A caterpillar becoming a butterfly kind of a thing. And I tell you, you should enjoy this phase. Right? You will not get back this phase in your of your children in your life. Okay, and it is a time for maturity of mind and behavior. One side, your mind says, do like this, but sometimes your behavior is different. So it's like confused phase it is. So it is not a stage, but a stage. Very nice it is. It's not an age, but a stage. It means that it will pass on. It will go further. It's just move on. We just move on, right? Someone asked me, why are you talking about all these things? When we used to when we used to grow, and we never had all these things. We never told us, we are adolescent, we are young, somehow we have grown up. Okay. At that time, things were different. Our parents' age, things were different. But now the things is totally different. The opportunity was less, exposure was less. But now, children are exposed to a lot of things, good, bad also. Both they are exposed to. Okay. There are a lot of reasons for it. Okay. So everyone has to pass on this stage. We'll also pass on this stage. But how you pass on this stage is the matter of concern. Okay. Generally, Mandal sir was also talking about the problems of adolescence. These are something which I've also mentioned it. There is a physical change. Boy or girl, they grow. There is a, could be right from your internal metabolism to the voice, everything there is a change. Increase the self-consciousness. They are in search of who am I? What am I doing? Okay. How I look like. How I dress like. All these things. They're very conscious about it. What they wear. Right? And emotional development also. This is also a phase of tension. Very emotional. The ego factor is very high in them. They can immediately get angry. And they're very careful about the social consciousness. What will people think about me? And there's a phase where intellectual development also takes place. Okay, what is right? What is wrong? Why is this person doing like this? What do I feel? There's intellectual development too. There are issues related to career, subject, which subject to choose, what career to take. There is a kind of a tension. And this also leads to irritation. And as sir was studying drug abuse, children getting into smoking, alcohol, right? All these are some of the problems. Okay. As I'm seeing this whole adolescent from a life skill point of view, I will not get into the mental health and know what should from a doctor's point of view. I'll get more from a trainer's point of view, a life skill trainer point of view. Okay, let's understand what life skill is. I call this life skill as, if you can see on the right side of the screen, you find a tree with lot of fruits, okay, and it's a big tree. A tree is strong because of the root. Okay. Now imagine the root is weak, the tree falls. Right? Deeper the root, stronger is the tree. I call this root as your skills and values in what we give it for our students. Okay. These are the things that we should give it for our students. Lot of people, sir, this what is this life skills? People talk about life skills. Is it so difficult to understand? I say no, it is not difficult to understand. The simple definition I would say, right? These are a set of abilities. Right? If you send your child, boy or girl, to a shop and give him some money, and you tell him, go to this big bazaar and get me all these items, the way he goes there, does the calculation, choose which is good, this is a life skill. Okay. He goes to a bank and get the work done. Inquiring skill, that is a life skill. Okay. He can run a home. There are children at that age, they can run a family. I've seen that happening. Right? Managing people, running the family, that is also a life skill. I have also 45 years old person who don't care about what is happening in the family. They don't know how to handle it. So I call it as whatever is a skill required to manage in your life becomes a life skill. Nowadays you have seen children having gadgets, right? Sometimes you have seen parents, they don't know how to operate, how to on, how to off, but the younger one can do that. I've also seen adults learning how to operate a phone and make a call for a son or daughter who is staying in other country. I call that as a life skills. Now the thing is, how do we acquire these skills? We acquire these life skills through our experience in our day-to-day life. Earlier the experience that you give for the students, right? At a younger age, it's always beneficial. Okay. Again, we talk about adolescence and the childhood. If you bring in life skill at the lower age, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th standard, the remaining part will be good. Okay. And if you're not, no problem. Okay. Now, how are these areas? You have life skill which is divided into 5 areas. WHO gives in a different way, and different organizations give it in a different way. Since I was in this field of life skill training, working with students, working with teachers for quite some time, maybe around 15 years I've been working on this, I felt that the entire life skills could be into these 5 categories. One side, the first one, I call it as emotional skill, the feelings. It's like, you need to manage that. Second is that, can you manage your thinking? Right? Thinking also includes creativity, but I kept creativity aside. Right? Then creativity, and then followed by attitudes and values. Okay? The behavior, the value system the family possesses. And the last one, I put it as the body skill, your health. It is not that this is the order of priority, but all this, overlap with each other. All this overlap with each other. Let's see each one of it in detail. Okay. I call this, what do you mean by this emotional skills? In a very simple language, I would say it is an ability to manage your feelings, your emotions, your motivation, in order to be very effective in different situations. I've seen some of children, if there is a problem, they start crying. They feel depressed. And some students get angry. All these are emotional imbalance. Okay. So a person with good emotional skill will have a balanced emotion. One of the example that I generally share is that, um, have you seen Mahendra Singh Dhoni when he plays cricket and plays cricket for India, and whether India loses the match or wins the match? You can see him that, he will have a balanced emotion. India winning, he will not start jumping, take out his shirt and moving. He will not do like that. And at the same time, will not get into depression also. Okay. So I would call that, you need to balance your emotions. You need to balance your emotions. Don't get too angry. Don't get too sad. Don't get very happy. Right? Hyperactive. So you need to balance that. Now, if you see, if the one way to let out your emotions is through writing. Some people have the habit of writing. If your children have the habit of writing, allow them to write. Okay, give them different prompts to write. Listen to them. Speak to them. It's like emotional skill is like pressure cooker. Like, if a pressure cooker, you lift the nozzle up to release the pressure. Same way, everyone deserves that, the releasing of tension. So speaking, reading sometimes works. It could be presentation, talking, your body language, everything part of your emotions. I put an image there. We have these two minds in us. One side you find an emotional mind. Second one you find it in a rational mind. The rational mind, I call it as a thinking skills, which I'm going to talk about next. Emotional mind is always impulsive. You have to tell our students. Impulsive, quick. If he hits me, right, you get angry and you also punch him back. That's an emotional mind. Rational mind is like, after that you realize that, oh, he's my friend. I should not have done it. That's a rational mind. It happens at home also. Sometimes, parents, they don't see what age the child is. They start beating him. Okay, nowadays you can't do that, but I've seen that. So, and later you realize that, I should not have done like that. Okay. So emotional mind is quick, impulsive, reactive, whereas rational mind is calm, and it comes later. It doesn't come first. Talking about a wise mind, which has a blend of emotions and rational. Okay, both are required. And what do you mean by thinking skills? It is making the students or your children think rationally, to solve problems, to make decisions. Give it to them. Okay. I always feel that, this thinking is like, you have to nurture it not only from the school side, at home also. School, college, home, people around. You develop that thinking ability. It includes like, critical thinking, problem solving, decision making, what kind of shirt you need to buy. I've seen parents deciding for the children what kind of dress they need to wear. Okay. And, memorizing also. Help them in that. I have put a nice picture. Okay. This looks like, when people see that, it looks like, you see a monkey holding a skull in his hand and it starts thinking. It looks, a very a simple image, but it's not so simple. This was done by a great sculptor called Hugo in 1893. This was a time when Darwin's theory was proposed, and you find this, the Darwin's theory book. The Darwin's book is kept there. If you can see, the left leg is on the right leg, and the right leg is having a caliper. Right? Caliper is to find the, you can find the thickness of any instruments, any materials, and this is what it is. And this exactly this image is in a zoo in China. Okay. This year, I gave this information to you. What was the difference when you saw it just 2-3 seconds before and now? More information makes your thinking more clear. I call this, if you have to develop students' thinking, yes, you need to give information also. Knowledge is like onion. Okay. The layers that you remove, you go deeper. Okay. Improve students sharpen thinking ability. Right. This is what we need to do. And yes, creativity, make your child to think from different perspective. Give more. Okay, if this doesn't work, what not? Right? I have seen that, in geography channel, a person gets, doesn't have anything. He goes and stays in the forest for, I think 5 days, 10 days, 11 days, something like that. And, you are pushed to think differently. Students like this. I've seen that. Yeah, we like it. Why? Because it's something challenging. It is something different. It means students like all these things, right? So this is creativity is another thing. If your child is good in drawing, writing, painting, give him the chance. Okay, let him explore this option. And you have another one called attitudes and values. Okay. There are a lot of definitions written that you need to be sensitive and orient to appropriate value system for self-direction and develop a positive attitude life. I call this as values in a simple way, if you have to tell. Values are behaviors. What you do, not what you say. Okay? You can tell whatever you want, but values are behaviors which values are a set of behaviors following which is good for you and good for the society, good for your family. So anything which is good for you and for your family and society becomes a value, right? If you are honest, you speak honestly, it is good for you, good for the family, good for society. It's a value. And you can see a lot of examples there. Positive attitude, positive values, self-awareness, teamwork, empathy, faith, right? All these are values. Attitude is the way children behave. Okay, the way they behave depends on your belief and your values. So this is one. As you can see, I put one, a balance. Right? So whatever is good for you and for your family and society becomes a value. Okay. What do you mean by body skills? There's another thing where you have to emphasize students on maintaining a good personal hygiene, personal grooming, health, physical abilities. It's all sports activity the students are involved in. All these are part of your body skills. So yoga, exercise, meditation, playing games. Nowadays, now it's a little difficult. You can't go out, but students spend a lot of time on virtual games and they strain themselves. So yoga, exercise, all this comes under body skill. So everything is important. Right? I want to share this a small case study here. The lady that you see there in the image, her name is Wilma Rudolph. Okay, and in her lifetime, I would say she would have just got 3 gold medals. She's a Black American. At the age of 6, she was not able to walk because she had a polio attack. Her legs were fixed with caliper. She couldn't move. Okay. Now, and her only desire that she wants to walk. Right. And what she used to do is, when father and mother both used to go out to work, she used to roll down from the bed, okay, and try holding the railing. Hold the railing and stand. She used to do like this for months together. And later she used to remove the caliper, roll down from the bed and hold the railings and stand. Like this for a few more months she did. And once she called up her father and told, "Father, I can stand." The father said, "You can stand?" "No, you can't stand." "Look at me, father." She just removed the caliper, rolled down from the bed, hold the railings, and she stood. Father was happy. "Oh my God, my child can stand." Now this girl told, "Father, now I can Stand, I want to walk. The father helped her to walk. At the age of 9, she was walking. She was walking. And she was taken to the school. Right? And when she was taken to the school, the priest, the principal, asked, what is that you like to do? Wilma would have said that I would like to run. She started running at the age of 10, 12, 10, 11, 12, like that. And she was the fastest athlete in the school. At the age of 16, she took part in Olympics, and you can see this picture. She bagged 3 gold medals, 100 meters, 200 meters, and there's something called 100 into 4 relay. She was, if there are 4 people, the first and last are generally more stronger compared to the other 2. She was at the last. The first person took the round and passed the baton to second, second to third, third to fourth. When the third was about to pass the baton to fourth, it almost slipped. She just caught it and started running. There was delay of 2-3 seconds. Every second mattered. She started running. She ran as if it's a last race in her life. She bagged a gold medal. Okay. She didn't live for a long time. Right. She just trained her body in such a way that, she could get this gold medal. And you can see on the right side, you find that statue kept. Every president of America, after taking the oath, okay, need to go to this place and garland this statue. Right? It is not because of 3 gold medals. There are a lot of people who have got back more gold medals. It is that willpower that matters. At the age you are nothing, but the age of 16, you are on the top of the world. Right? It all depends on focus. I tell all my students that, if Wilma at the age of, 9, she started walking, what is our problem? We are much better than her. Now, if you see, I have separated all the skills. I separated emotions separate. Then, I separated the thinking, creativity, health, attitudes and values, and, body skills. All this I have dissected it. But if you see, there is a lot of overlap that happens. For Wilma to become like this, you require that focused effort. Your emotion should be sharp. You should be focused, concise. So if you see, all the life skills overlap with each other. Right? It's in a simple way. If I have to tell, I would say, manage your emotions, like manage your heart. Manage your mind. Right? Your thinking. Right? Manage your sensory organs, touch, smell, sound, taste, all these things you have to manage it. And the last one we have to manage is your self. I call it as your value system, your soul. Okay. All this thing has to be managed. Then our life is beautiful, I would say. Okay. I have a few tips to share. Positive behavior to help your children navigate this stage. If you could see, there are a lot of words when you talk about, life skill, adolescence, there are a lot of words comes in. But you can see there is a heart. I call this heart as joy. It is fun to be with adolescent children. I tell you, I spend a lot of time with these children. It's fun. It's fun to be with them. The only thing is that, you can't treat them like, the way you treat children. And they don't like to get treated. So all these things are there. But I tell you, I truly enjoyed being with children of this age. Okay. It's like this. So I want to share a few things which I've experienced. Okay. First thing that you see this image. I have a word and an image for it. A word and an image. Okay. Now, if you see, I like this photo a lot. You can see in this photo, the father is holding the son, and the boy jumps on him. So the question is, what makes the boy jump? The only thing is that the boy is assured that the father will hold me. I call this as trust. Now, if you see, children, when they go to school at grade 1, 2, 3, 4 and all, they will listen to you. After the school, they will come and tell you, you know what I did? Whole day they will tell you. But when they reach this stage, adolescents say, they don't like to share it. Okay. You wait for them to speak, they will not speak. Okay. Sometimes we feel that, at that stage, they trusted you a lot. And this is a stage where, there is naturally a diminish of trust element. I generally ask people, who should trust whom? The parents should trust children, or children should trust parents, or it is 50-50. A lot of people say it is 50-50, but the answer is no. Right? I would say that, it's you're not sure whether, your children will trust you or not, but you have no options better to trust your children. Okay. So trust your children. This is a stage where, you have to establish the trust with your children. And how do you do that? I would say you need to be a role model. You need to, whatever you say, you need to do that. Then only the children will trust you. Now the question is, trust has to be reinforced, right? At one point of time, it happens in our relationship also. It's not only this. In any relationship, if the trust can fade over a period of time. It's not that I trusted you at that time, now it is different. No, it's not like that with children. It has to be constantly reinforced. Trust is like that. And the onus of trust is more on the parent side. Right? So you have to make all effort to trust your children. Okay. Even if you know that, this girl will betray me, I would say you need to earn that. You have to do that. Okay. You have to trust them. Okay. This is the second one. You need to agree to treat each other with respect and listen to each other's point of view. Okay. Sometimes parents say like, you have to listen to me. The children say, no, you better listen to me. Who should listen to you? When they were children, they were listening to you. But when they come to adult, they want their voice to be heard. It's very natural, right? So agree to each other with respect. If you respect them, they also respect you. Okay? And listen. Listening is one of the most important thing I would tell you. Spend some time in listening to them. I generally call it as, family time. We always say, family time, let's sit together and do that. Agree, right? We should negotiate with them. This is the family time. And just sit and have a chit chat. Just talk to each other. Keep your phones aside. Even if an emergency call comes, everyone in this world can wait. No problem. Keep the phone aside. Okay? And switch off your television. That's an informal time where you talk. Okay? Don't talk about work. I had all these things. Okay? You just listen. You can talk about anything. Okay? This is one I say. It's like quality family time. Okay? And another thing which I generally suggest is that, prayer. Right? Have some time where, people come together and pray. Any family who prays together will stay together. This is a word of Mother Teresa. She says, if you pray together, you stay together. Okay. So agree to treat each other with respect. Listen to each other's point of view. It makes your life better. Okay. Now, conflict to be resolved. There are situations that, there is a disagreement, but it has to be resolved constructively. There's a very nice image, if you can see there. You can see one side, two goat. Sometimes people say donkey. I say, no, it looks like a goat for me. Okay. And, one side, the goat goes towards, one goat goes to the right and the other says, no, that's not the one. Let's go to the left. I want to eat that first. And there is a kind of a conflict. There is a kind of a tug of war. Okay. A lot of people ask me, is conflict bad? I say conflict is good. Okay. Conflicts are bound to happen. Any two people coming together, they're bound to have conflict. At home, there is a bond. But how do you resolve that matters the most. Okay. Don't you feel conflict happens in our mind also? Okay. It happens in your mind. It happens between people. So there is a conflict. So probably if you can see the next stage, these two go sit and think, how do you resolve it? So sometimes you have to let go. Okay. Sometimes you feel, okay, let's go with that. I call this as, U-turn philosophy. Sometimes, if you get along with opposite with your children, they will not listen to you. They will say, they get frustrated. But you have to listen to them, walk the way they are telling you, and then take a U-turn. They will not realize it. Okay. And let that U-turn be based on values. That's the only thing I would say. And the problem is solved. Conflict to be resolved constructively. Okay. And then this this is my, I had 6 points to share. I think this is my first point. Trust, respect and listen, resolve things. This is another one. Be consistent with consequence and reward. Like when you have a deal with them, if you do like this, this will be the consequence. And if you do this, not necessary for everything that you should get a reward. Reward could also be an appreciation. Okay. Not always in terms of I'll get you a new mobile, I'll get you a bike. No, not only that. Okay. Now, a lot of people say rewards, it's required, not required. But personally, I feel that, a good job, man. You did a good job. That is also reward. Okay. I have put a very nice image. You see a potter making a pot. I love this image because two things that a potter does. If you see, when he's preparing a pot, one hand is inside. You see, one hand is inside, one hand is outside. I call the outer one, I call this outer one as discipline. Okay, consequence, right? And the inner one could be the reward, could be the love. Okay, so one side consequence and rewards, other side I'm telling you it is love and discipline. Imagine you remove the hand, the outer part, only reward. Do small thing, you get reward. Okay, and only love, unconditional love. Okay, now what will happen to the shape of the pot? It will become like this, lumpy. Now I remove the inner hand and I have only discipline, nothing doing. Follow. This is the system. Everyone should follow that. I'm the head of the family. You better follow it. Okay. Only discipline. Only discipline. Only if you do this, this is a consequence. Now, what happens to the shape of the pot? Again, it gets distorted. So, when you are into parenting, and for teachers too, we should know when to be disciplined, when to be loving. Okay, you should be knowing when to be consequent about things and when to be rewarding. Okay, now either one of it, too much can spoil them. So you should be knowing when to discipline your child, and when to be affectionate towards them. Okay, both works. Right? This is a wonderful analogy. I like a lot. Now, freedom. This is something, students like to go to college. I asked them why. They said, you can wear the dress that you like to wear. It's so boring to wear the same dress. You would have studied for 10 years and wearing the same dress. But when you go to college, you can go wherever you want. Okay. I said, is it? I said, yes, you can go and, and you have friends, you can wear colored dress. Okay. All these things. And when they call this as freedom. I have two images here. One side you see, freedom is just not letting do whatever you want. Freedom always comes with a responsibility. Okay. I've seen some parents, like, boy or girl can do whatever he wants. It's completely let free. You find your way. And they have seen other families also. For everything, you can see the nails being snubbed when I hit. Okay. That gives a different shape. So some families have, complete freedom, and some, for every small thing you have someone telling you, why are you doing this? Don't do it like this. Do this. Do this. You have no choice. That's the reason I've mentioned that, give step-by-step freedom, incremental freedom, not complete freedom. Right? It's like, flying a kite. You don't let go the entire rope like that. Okay, you give it step by. You feel that you're confident, yeah. Then you leave it. It's like this. So give incremental freedom. Suddenly a baby, doesn't become a child. It takes time for him to become. So same way, the freedom has to be in a stepwise gradual way. This is one. And the last one is this is the sixth one. Of all the things, I would share that, it says, forgive others, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. Sometimes when you forgive your students or any people in your relationship, I would say you feel more relaxed. There's more peace in your mind. If you don't forgive, it's like carrying that luggage in your mind for a longer time. More you carry that luggage, you have less space for something else. Okay, there is always a power of forgiveness. You forgive certain things. Okay, fine. You know that it is a mistake that your children has done. Fine, let go things. Relationship is like all about having people in your hand. It's like you have a sand in your hand, right? You want to control them, it just slips away. Same thing in our classroom also. You have to just manage them. You keep it in your hand like this, the sand, you can keep it for a long time. But the moment you want to have control over them, sometimes you have to let go, forgive them. On the left side, I have a shift and delete button. Okay. I heard one teacher telling me, sir, I can forgive, sir. I've forgiven many people, sir, but I can't forget, sir. I said, okay, but try to forgive that also. Forgive means completely out of your mind. You don't talk about it. Some people, keep the things in mind and they tell you, remember, last month, what you did. Okay. And the person, no, I asked sorry for it. No, okay, you are sorry. I also gave you sorry. I have forgiven you. But don't repeat the thing what you did last month. So it means that you still carry that luggage in your mind. It's like, in a computer, you have a delete button and you have a shift delete button. Right? Delete button, it goes to the recycle bin. Remember, it is still there in your system. Right? But if you make it shift delete, it just goes off from your system. Same way I would say, forgiveness is all about shift delete it. Right? Don't talk about it. Right? Just out from your mind. When you delete certain things, from your computer, the speed is better. Right? The same way you delete unnecessary bad experiences that you had. Keep good experiences. Right? Remove all the bad negative thoughts. If you remove that, lighter you become. This is even for children, teachers, and parents. Sometimes it happens with our children that they would have done a mistake. Forgive. Okay. So I will stop it till here. I have exceeded around 5-10 minutes more. So these are the things that I wanted to share.
So Vivekananda, can you also talk about empathy part? So many requesters, many viewers on YouTube channel are
Okay.
asking
Okay.
about to touch base the empathy part also.
Okay. Okay. It's like this, if you see from the life skill point of view, a lot of people, say what empathy is all about, putting yourself in other shoes. It's a common example that we all share. But empathy is like, there are two words. We generally use sympathy also. We see sympathy, empathy, and all. So sympathy is like, feeling pity, right? You see, you're on a stair and you see someone is like, struggling to climb up the stair. You feel so sad. See, you should not be like this, no? Life is so cruel. All these things we talk. It's all sympathy. And if you go down and help them out, help them to come. Okay. So that is empathy. Okay. I'm not telling that, sympathy is not required. Sympathy is required. Sympathy plus action becomes empathy. Right? So, without sympathy, there cannot be empathy. empathy leads to action, and that action becomes empathy. A lot of people are sympathetic in life, but they are not empathetic. Now, as a parent, what we need to do is that you need to empathize with these children. Empathy is very important thing in family also. Okay, so what do we do to empathize with them? That this family time works. When you're listening, they feel that you are empathizing with them. So listen to them. Listen, not just to speak next. Just listen, and you may to it also. So I would say that yes, empathy is very much important, and how do you develop that is through listening. So parents, listen to your children.
Okay.
Could I say?
Yeah. Okay. So I can you also touch base few case studies like suppose we got recently we got 10th results. We also got few results, both
Yeah,
supplementary
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
main
I
results.
want to
So
share. Yes, yes. Even I wanted to share some of my experiences when you're working. Generally, you would have seen this after results. You know, you have a lot of suicides happening, and now because of COVID, children are not going out, so the suicide rate is little less because the family is there and thing. But remember, um, all the students, even if you fail, nothing happens. The life is not the end. Okay, there's always a comma. It is not a full stop. Okay, the PUC examination, the results which I got, even the 10th standard, all these things are just for the time moment. Nobody will ask you after some time, but don't take it to your mind that you're pushed to make options. That's the reason I tell you creativity is important, that creative skills are important. People who are creative, who have more options, will not commit suicide. People who have less options commit suicide. So as a parent, what we should do is that if the child is failed, you should not limit the options. Okay, I don't know what you're going to do. I really don't know what you're going to do. So in that case, what you should do is, okay, fine, no problem. You have another 2-3 options there. When a person sees more option, okay, he will not commit suicide. His emotions are balanced. This is one thing I would like to share. People who commit, we have come across these cases. And I want to add one more thing. There's one case today. I've got a couple of things. There's one of our school. It's a residential school. They were, this 10th standard boys. There was some were very naughty, mischievous. Okay, children will be naughty. Children will be mischievous. I and you can't be. Okay, so it's very absolutely normal to be like that. But what happens is that we get prejudiced. We put it in the mind and you start thinking whatever he does, he is the one. It happened in one of the hostel that there was a fire in the hostel. Okay, nobody was harmed. They kept there was a fire on the bed and things like that, and the school management came and they controlled the situation and thing. Nothing happened. It was a minor thing. But 3 of the students were suspended. They were in grade 10. They were suspended because they did like this, because they were basically naughty students. So they were expelled, and their parents were called and they told this like this. Parents also knew that this boy is like this. What would do? Okay, he's out there. After 1.5 months, we got to know that these 3 were not responsible. It was done by a 9th grade student. Right? And he looked so innocent that we couldn't predict that this boy has done this. What happens to these 3? What happens to their life? Right? If you're not careful enough to manage them, right? So it can be dangerous. It can be disastrous for their whole life. Right? Whose mistake? It is the mistake of the teacher side or the parent side. Right? So you have to be very careful while doing this. And I want to share one situation that happened to me when I was in school. We had one boy. That was a time where all movie stars having cigarette smoking and things like that. Used to see on all shops people having cigarette. That was a style that time. So I remember that you got one cigarette and a matchbox, and we were all playing there, and you could see some fume coming. So he was sitting and smoking, and he just told our class teacher, "Ma'am, this is what we have seen." and what should the class teacher do. I had a very sensible teacher there at that time. I always appreciate her. What she did was she spoke to that boy one to one, okay, and she told this is bad. And then she spoke to every one of us, and she told us that cigarette smoking is bad. Okay, only we boys knew who was that, but others didn't know who was that. She maintained that confidentiality and also gave a session on, she was teaching Hindi for us, but she spoke about how do you manage this. She became like a parent. It's still there in my mind. Sir.
Okay.
Guraj, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So let me quickly check with the questions which I received. Just give me a second, sir. So I thank a lot for your presence for this particular session. Let me take some
It's a
questions
privilege.
from the audience. So I'm just checking out the questions which I've received so far from the audience. If I receive any questions, I'm checking out. Okay, I got 3 questions. Um, is life skills essential?
Okay.
Can you please?
See, actually,
Yeah.
Life skill is a must. It's not an essential. It's not an option.
Okay.
I would say must. Must at every age. At every age. Life skills are not only for adolescents. It is right from, if you have an infant, making him to eat on his own is also a skill.
Okay.
It's like this. So it's part of your life. That's the reason it says life skills.
Okay. Okay. So now there's one more question coming up from Nagapat P. Shapur. So sir is asking, what are life skills meant for adolescents? So is there any specific life skills meant for adolescents?
Yes. Okay. See, if you see, this is a special period, I would say. Special period. Life skills are required even at the lower grades, at higher grades, and all these things. But here, if you see, there is emphasis on emotions and your body, right? Because the bodily changes takes place here at this stage. They are not complete adult. Okay. So for boys and girls, so I would say health, managing emotions are more important at this stage of adolescence.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. So there's one more question coming up from Shakuntala Purohit. Madam is asking, in this pandemic situation, children are very much frustrated, only watching TV and watching videos in YouTube or any other streaming channels. How to make them engaged and joyful?
Okay. So I would say that it's a family time, and I would say earlier time only Sundays we used to get that family time, but this time the family time is very big for 6 to 7 months. So I would say that if you have certain time where all are together, and probably you can spend some time on reading a book, or reading Bhagavad Gita or Bible, Quran, whichever religion you follow. Sit and talk about it. Something intellectual can also happen along with the emotional thing. Okay, so you make them tell a story, Ramayana, Mahabharata, whatever it is. Okay, so I would say a family time will work. Play with them, sing with them, or nowadays you can ask, I give you certain topics, you stand and record. I would say create your own YouTube channel. This is a very good time. If your son or daughter do a lot of small things and upload it, people will see what is there in that. So I would say have some time for your thinking, something for your entertainment kind of.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. So that's all. I think that's all the questions which we have received from the audience. Now I have one last specific questions. So, what are training programs is Academy for Creative Teaching is doing for enriching teachers and the students in the area of life skills? If you could throw
Yeah.
some highlights on those areas, then I can also give
Actually,
some.
we are.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes,
Please,
sir.
please go ahead, sir.
We are actually managing schools. We have done around 1995 schools, currently managing around 20 schools, wherein these life skills are part of empowering teachers.
Okay.
See, if the teacher is empowered, okay, he can manage the kids there. So we conduct a regular training program for teachers, and we also have periodic programs for students,
Okay.
and we invite uh, professional doctors, counselors to our schools to talk to them. Okay, one side people talking to them, one side we have to motivate them. So both we do that.
Okay.
Apart from teacher training students, we do that.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, audience,
Thank you, sir.
in fact, Indian Association for Adolescents Health is also associated with many organizations. We have doctors, we have counselors, we have career counselors, we have psychologists, and we have clinical psychologists, and we are group of professionals. We are educators, educationists, and psychologists. They come together. Those who are working in the field of adolescents and those who are working with adolescents, we are giving up opportunity for all those working with adolescents, and the membership is open, as our president mentioned in the beginning of this session, that we have membership platform also where you can make use of it and become member of Indian Association for Adolescents Health and contribute your knowledge to the better society, and especially focusing on adolescents health, right, mental health and both physical health. So by this I thank Mr. Vivekananda, who has given us a wonderful session on life skills as a tool to self empower adolescents, and this is our fifth web series from past 3 months, and these web series are being done free of cost to enrich both teachers, parents, as well as students. I once again thank on behalf of IAAH Karnataka chapter and behalf of IAAH Indian Association for Adolescent Health for giving your time and enriching in the field of life skills to our audience. I also take this opportunity to thank our President Dr. Mandal sir, and also on behalf of all the IH EC members, I would like to thank them for giving me opportunity to execute this web series from past 3 months, and this is our fifth web series. We are going to come up with few more web series in the next coming months, and we are planned to have every month two web series in the field of adolescents, especially focusing on healthcare and as well as focusing on mental health, especially mental health as well as physical health, because these two things we feel that is very important for an student, especially adolescents who are between the age 11 to 19. So please wait, subscribe our channel regularly, watch our YouTube videos which has been hosted on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe our channel to get upcoming web series updates. I once again thank you all of you for watching this web series on YouTube channel. We are happy that almost more than 70 people have watched live, and I'm sure that few more people will be watching after this session. We are going to upload the entire session on the YouTube channel.